Welcome everybody to Dan Excelsior. This is episode 141. I'm your host Ricky, and with me as always is Dennis. What is up?
You definitely spiked it there on the 141.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's like good. It's a sandwich number sandwich, a 141.
Oh, I guess that's a good excuse. Yeah, we're back. We're doing this. We're just gonna keep it going. We're almost done with this randomly selected Fox marathon that we're doing.
Well, yeah, after no reason at all. Yeah, we might as well finish up all the Fox movies of yesteryear.
Yes, all the Fox superhero movies, the Marvel movies for sure. Yeah, we're doing this. We're doing it again. It's getting to the point where it's reluctantly for sure. But you gotta like the older movies walked so the newer ones could run, right? So,
but I'm excited because we're doing this again with the new friend of the show, Abel.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I think this is the quickest turnaround for having a first guest become a second guest. So kudos to you.
Is it? Is it? Or did we have comedian Brian come back the week after?
Did we have comedian Brian come? I forgot.
I don't know. I don't know. It might have been the second time he came back for the next time after that. So I could be wrong, but
the fans demanded you, Abel, so we had to bring you back.
Or we did because we just liked it. Like it's like, hey, no dig on comedy Brian, but like Abel is definitely more versed in the nerd realm. We brought comedy Brian because he's funny and he's got like cool voices he does, but like he openly admits right when the show starts, hey, like, I'm not as nerdy as you guys. I don't know all these things. And it's like, that's cool. It's fun. We don't care. Like, I'm not saying we're exclusively about that. I'm just saying
you're not funny. That's what he said.
I'm saying sometimes it's nice to have a fellow nerd on the show that can really get down in the dirt with it.
No, I think we were both very impressed at the level of nerd.
And I say sometimes as if we don't regularly have people on the show that nerd out with us and stuff. But no.
Yeah, but he's like Omega level.
He's like he's fresh blood is also what he is. Too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know we said it before on the pre-show, but like we're so sorry that you had to cancel on us last minute for Dark Phoenix. We were really excited for you to do that one with us because that is your character. That's your character is Phoenix.
Yeah, that's my favorite girl. That's like my all-time favorite hero from like since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, we do have one more X-Men movie coming out next month. Where's your barometer on Deadpool? Are we yay, nay? Do we like Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool? Do we like Deadpool in general?
I like Deadpool. My only problem I have with Deadpool is what I say is the Satsuma problem, the one punch man problem, is that he's only as strong as the fans make him out to be. Like in the comics, Deadpool was really never meant to be like this kind of crazy, omnipotent, like super powerful dude, but he gained popularity. People loved him. They liked his design, the merc with the mouth, and it grew. So the writers decided to like amp him up. Same thing with One Punch Man. One Punch Man was supposed to be a commentary on anime and the power levels and how they jump up and down and this and that. It was never meant to be taken serious. But now if you go on message boards, everyone swears by this fool's power who can take everyone out. But the writers are like, it's meant to be a joke.
But in fairness, One Punch Man can take everyone out, though.
Goku would beg to differ.
Screw Goku. No, I love One Punch Man because it's a hilarious satire for sure, but I would say the first season is way cleaner than the second because I think by the second season it kind of lost its own focus, right? And it started really like
shy away from it, right?
It started really leaning into like, look at all these other cool characters we have. I'm like, no. The whole point of these characters is just for the dude to punch him in the face and then they explode and that's it, like so. Why are you starting to make me try and care about other characters? So yeah, eventually the money talks more than the principles,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of how that always works. So, but I feel you. But at the same time, I don't think that's a special quality about Deadpool. I think there's a lot of characters that like get elevated by the surprising emergence of sales figures. You know what I mean? Like Venom used to just be something that was just like just Spider-Man's villain, and the amount of money that they made every time Venom showed up in those comics, they're like, no, this guy's got to be a hero now, and he's got to be way awesome. And it's just like, come on, guys, it's okay, but I get it. They just, so they're always looking at the numbers, and they're always looking at what people care about, and yeah, I mean, it would be dumb of them to like murder Deadpool, right? Like he's a cash cow for them. So but I do, like, in the same way that I appreciate One Punch Man, I appreciate Deadpool for being a point of at least self-deprecation, right? Like Marvel likes to make fun of their own stories and stuff using that character. Say that's kind of why I like She-Hulk back in the day too. Like that was always her.
Did Rob Liefeld draw Deadpool, or I know he drew Deadpool, but did he write for Deadpool too, or he just created?
Back then, it's possible they were letting him write and draw X-Force for a little while. I'm not going to say he didn't, because I know he's usually the guy credited for Deadpool and Cable and a few other ones, but I could be wrong, and there might have been somebody writing, but I have to assume yes, because like, dear God, nobody hire him just for his art, please. Like this,
I'll ask him when I see him. I won tickets to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine with him. Not just me and him. I didn't want to be, that'd be weird.
Wait, what?
The week after Comic-Con, he's doing like a screening up here.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna watch it again with
yes,
with Rob Liefeld.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
I'll ask him to his face. Did you write for Deadpool too?
Yeah. I mean, I can find that out real quickly, but yeah, he probably did create him. I'm just saying, by himself.
Well, he did. I knew he drew him, but yeah.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying he probably did by himself.
Mm-hmm. And well, also be a joke on the DC character, Deathstroke.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Slade Wilson.
We talked about that last time you were on the show. First show. Created by Fabian Nicieza and Rob Liefeld. So no, not just one. I thought Fabian is a oh yeah, he's a writer. Yeah, okay. So it's not just, so Rob Liefeld was drawing it at the time.
Okay.
So
it's been a few weeks since we last saw you, Abel. What's nerd happenings have been going on in your neck of the woods?
I've been just trying to keep up with I finally, like, in its entirety, finished the X-Men animated series. Love it to death. I do have a concern that some people kind of pointed out, was that they're kind of dropping a lot of exposition on people. Hopefully they can save some for the movies, because it's all about production and fast. But then if they come out with the movies, I don't want it to get thrown back like, we saw that in the series, like there's nothing new here. So hopefully they can still like keep that same energy and that same type of like writing, and make it about the characters versus like the plot.
Are you talking about X-Men 97 or the original X-Men show?
97.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what I hope is that, I love the writing in that show, because it's about the characters, it's about their story, and I feel like the powers, even though they're cool visually, they're kind of like second to like what they're going through emotionally. And that's always been the thing about the X-Men. It's like the emotions that people feel. So I hope they can still transfer that into the live action when they come out with their versions of it.
Let's be honest though. I would say the emotions are the second most important thing about the X-Men. The first is
for the big books.
The first is the soap opera. It's always the soap opera first. Like
the drama.
who is hooking up with who, and who's mad about it, right? And then after that, you get the emotion, and then you get the action and stuff too. But X-Men is the most soap opera of any show ever, or of any comic ever. It's so drama.
Let me toss this question to you guys. What's your MCU X-Men? What's your starting five? Who are the X-Men you want?
Sorry, you go. You're
Cyclops
the guest.
Cyclops and Jean, like I definitely would want to see them, but I do think that given like the last movies that came out, people might be kind of tired of them, and I would not mind giving them a break so that people can kind of get back in the groove of like seeing the X-Men. So if they bring back like the second tier, I know Spider-Man and Superman. We're getting another Superman, and we have a new Batman.
Yeah,
but I feel like X-Men characters, at least from my like fan point of view, I study them, and like I'm more like, I guess, very into like what they're going to do. So I don't care or mind if they take their time to introduce these characters. While like Superman and Batman and say bring them out, bring a new one, like, and we all know the backstory, so like we don't really care that much. But I would not mind if they took a break from bringing back those characters just to be able to build them up correctly the way they should be.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I need Cyclops. Damn it! I just need it.
His stock definitely is up.
Correct. I need him correct. Yes. I don't need him correct because I will always have X-Men 97, which has done him more correct than any piece of media other than the comics. You know what I mean? Like he is so perfect in that cartoon that like I feel like it's big shoes to fill for a live
we need a new Boy Scout, and that's, you know.
Yeah, but he's not really a Boy Scout. He's just the better
Captain America's the Boy Scout.
Yeah, Captain America's the Boy Scout. Scott Summers murdered Professor X. All right, he killed Professor X in the comics, and it was badass. All right, like that ain't no Boy Scout. Okay, he's not a Boy Scout. He's just compared to Wolverine, he's a Boy Scout for sure. You know, like that's yeah.
We wouldn't be a comic book show if we didn't talk about the other Boy Scout stuff that came out this week. Have you guys seen the set photos of the Superman in the flesh?
You're not even saving that for the news. You're just going.
I think that's a cultural moment for us. Every generation gets another Superman.
Fair enough. I don't know that every generation.
I mean, visually, aesthetically, I don't mind the Superman. I mean, at least the way he looks so far. Those photos look pretty cool. I found it both interesting and funny. They brought back the red underwear, so we'll see how that works out.
I freaking love red underwear. I love the red underwear because it's good. It's just artistically, it's good color blocking, is what it is. You need to break up the big blue wall, right? Like you have to. It just like it doesn't look right to have a red cape just behind a blue body. You need to have like elements of red incorporated, you know, besides just at the feet. So like it for me it works. It works to have it at the collar, have it in the center, and then have it down at the feet. It's I know it's dumb to have underwear on the outside of your pants. Never gonna argue the dumbness of it, but also if you ever put Cyclops in yellow underwear on top of his blue spandex, I'm there for it. I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? Like it's fine. Just do it. They could figure out a way to make it look cool. You know what I mean? Like, or just make fun of it. I don't know. But yeah, no. If you're gonna ask about it, dude, those set photos are just giving me life, and I appreciate that they're putting them out there so regularly. They're like, look, dude, we gotta inject some life into these fans.
They know, right? They
know exactly what they're doing. And the picture of Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan Lois Lane, is so perfect. I just like looked at her and I'm like, yes, that's perfect. And then you just
Mr. Terrific.
Perfection. Like it's like James Gunn has never let me down in a movie. Like I've been following this guy's career for so long now, and so to the point where when they announced he was the one doing Guardians of the Galaxy, I was genuinely excited because I'd already been a fan of this guy, and what he did for the Marvel universe is so incredible, and just the little bit of work he's done with DC was so much better than most of the stuff that's been put out in DC for so long. Like I'm sorry, that Suicide Squad movie was vastly superior than the first one, and Peacemaker was just amazing. So you made a character like Peacemaker a household name. Like what is that guy? Like that's so dumb. Like and it's so good.
In a weird way, I'm by no means like a patriotic person, but I feel like when you see like a good Superman, you're like, yeah, that's like go America. Like right. That's like our superhero. That's like our greatest contribution to like media in general is Superman.
And he's an illegal alien.
Yes.
I mean, I just want to be clear. You do know that Spider-Man has actually always been more popular globally, right? Like
I thought it went Mickey Mouse, Superman, then like the Coca-Cola bear.
No, for heroes, it was always Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was always the most popular one outside of America. It's because he wears a mask, dude. Superman's just a straight up white guy. All right.
What's this slogan? Red, white, and blue in the American way.
Well, a lot of his old slogans. No, it's not red, white, and blue the American way. It was truth, justice in the American way. Yeah. You're just throwing the red, white, and blue in there. You're making it weird, Ricky.
Yeah.
I just like seeing the picture.
My second favorite character is Red Dragon.
No. I definitely didn't salute when I saw the pictures from the set for sure.
No, but you know what I mean. You feel good looking at those pictures because it's very obvious that a lot of care went into every aspect of that look.
Yeah, a lot of care went into the like everything that's being done, especially even the photos that are being leaked. You know what I mean? Like those are very intentional. They're trying to show us, hey, this is probably going to be a little bit of, a Kingdom Come story, probably, like just a little bit, and so, I think it's enough to get people drooling for sure. So, I'm excited. But yeah, I thought you were going to ask when you started talking.
What had me drooling was the curl. They brought back
the curl.
You get the curl right, you're set.
The curl's necessary. Like I don't know why we stopped using the curl. Like you got to have the curl. Like it's
curl or mullet.
The mullet still had a curl, just for the record. Like the mullet just added more hair. It didn't take away anything. Okay.
Back curls.
Yeah. But I thought when you were talking about the boy, like the boy, something you said the boys. I thought you were going to talk about like, have you guys watched the new episode of The Boys, or are you caught up on The Boys? Are you caught up on The Boys?
I'm not.
I am now caught up with The Boys, but
did you finish watching last week's episode?
I did.
That was disgusting, right?
That show's pretty wild. Like
that show is wild.
Wait, yes. Have you seen The Boys at all, Abel?
Yeah, but I'm not caught up.
Okay.
Did you watch last week's?
No.
Oh, okay. That shit was disgusting. Just so you know. All right.
Okay.
I
mean, the show's been kind of like out there, so.
Yeah, it's like all your superhero perversions like rolled up.
I feel like last week reached a new level of disgusting. It was pretty impressive. But, yeah. I
think physically it's disgusting, and then the level that Homelander's operating, and then like the coded language that he uses, and the parallels to our actual life here. It's so gross, but it's like a car fire. You want to watch it.
Yeah.
Good stuff all around.
Yeah. What about the Acolyte? You turned down on that?
I still have not watched the Acolyte.
What about you?
I did see the lightsaber fight though.
The lightsaber fight was pretty cool this week. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna be here.
I've also haven't seen it. I've just been kind of keeping up with like the ups and downs of the hype. Apparently, like episode 1 and 2, everyone's for it, but then suddenly 3 comes out and everyone's suddenly pissed and it goes down. But then the next episode comes out, and
that's because there were lesbians in it.
That's what I figured.
Nah, it's a little bit more. I don't know why I'm giving them credit. I was gonna say it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but it's probably not. It's probably because there's lesbians in it, and they just want to find a reason. But like I think I think I said this to Frank, our guest last week. Like the weird thing is, like every time Disney, or Star Wars breaks canon, it's not that they're breaking canon. It's that like the old stories don't necessarily, the old books and stuff like that aren't necessarily canon. And so like,
Well,
if
not.
they
It's
no,
it's not
yeah, I know, but they are to a lot of people in their minds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like when a book gets published that says, it's a compendium, it's a guide, and it says Ki-Adi-Mundi was 60 years old in The Phantom Menace. And then, we get a show where 100 years ago, Ki-Adi-Mundi's in it. Now people are losing their shit. It's not because they ever said he's 60 in the movie, but it's because in their minds, they read a book, 20 years ago that said, hey, this guy's 60 in this movie. He can't be negative 40 now. And so like, it's like, I want to rage.
Ki-Adi-Mundi fans.
You know what? I was quite surprised to see how many Ki-Adi-Mundi fans have access to TikTok once it came out. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be surprised. Like, or they just find things to be angry about is more the reality. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like I like we were saying last week, like they've constantly been changing stuff. Like the prequels changed stuff. Like I mean, they made Boba Fett's origin completely different than everything people knew before that. So it's just always going to keep evolving, and like either you're in for the ride or get off, man. Just like, but they didn't ruin Star Wars for you. They just go back and watch the stuff you like, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's. Yeah. I mean, I say that as we get ready to talk about Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I'm going to try and keep an open mind, like where we're at there. But yeah.
Well, I will open your mind some more with some news real quick.
I decided. Sorry, I decided. Okay. I know I said a long time ago that one day I'm going to do a supercut of all of your greatest terrible segues, and then I just decided, you know what? It's just too exhausting. I'm just going to wait till we're really famous and then let one of our fans do it, because it's going to be great when they do it. Then we can just sit back and watch all of your segues. That was a good one, though. That was
all right. I'll take it.
Good bad one.
Just like I'll take a seat in Hall H at Comic-Con this year. It's news, not news, maybe news. Marvel's coming back to Comic-Con 2024. Feige, actually, Marvel Studios is doing a monthly podcast, and Feige was on the first one that came out this week and basically said, yeah, they're going. Dennis, I know you don't partake in the Hall H festivities anymore.
Well, I mean, I have not partaken in like the last 2 years or something like that. Whatever. I think there was 1 year that I could have gone and I didn't do it. I just want to say, without spoiling too much, this week's episode of The Boys does a fantastic job at parodying how stupid the Hall H experience is. It's pretty great, dude. You need to watch it because you'll get a kick out of it. Just because it's a giant ad. It's a giant ad, 100%. And I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna give my time for them to sell something to me that I'm already gonna buy. Do you know what I mean?
I'll do it every time.
I know you like.
I'll wait hours to do it.
You love commercials, though. It's okay. It's all right. I'm not going to judge you for it. It's just that's my take. It's like there's so many fun things to do at Comic-Con, like that are interesting and like and fulfilling and like and I can learn about things. I can. There's so much cool experiences to be had, and I just can't sit in a room with 5,000 people for 10 hours.
You either love it or you don't. For me, it's a high like nothing else. Being amongst 5,000 fans, it's screaming while our Lord and Savior Feige tells us what he's going to feed us for the next couple of years. I love it.
You gotta watch that. You gotta watch that, Boys, man. It's so good. It's so good.
They'll probably my pie in the sky this year. They're going to show the costume for the Fantastic Four, probably, and I'll eat that shit up. And I'll get my little Marvel Studios hat, and I'll walk out of there happy.
And I'll watch it 5 minutes later.
You'll watch it 5 minutes later, but it's not going to hit the same. It's not the same.
It'll hit in a more realistic, balanced way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not down for the hype train anymore. Like, I'd rather just be excited for the things I want to be excited about, rather than be told to be excited for the things I should be excited for.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this will be a hit with you. Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey's coming back. Season 2 of Hitmonkey comes out next month on the 15th. Remember we talked about this? We did a whole show about Hitmonkey.
We did a whole multiple shows. And we also talked. Wait, did we do multiple ones?
Yeah, we did episodic Hitmonkey shows.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure we did.
I can't.
It might have been half and half halvesies.
Yeah, I can't believe we did like 8 episodes of devoted to Hitmonkey.
Abel, did you watch season 1 of Hitmonkey?
Nope.
Are you familiar with Hitmonkey?
Yeah, it's just never rung my bell.
Because I thought they dropped all the episodes all at once, and you might be right. We agreed to try and watch all of them and talk about as many as we could. And I was the only one that made it all the way through to the end in time for the recording. And I was like, guys, it wasn't that good.
This Marvel staple of Hitmonkey.
The ending was cool-ish, but the ride was rough. And so I was surprised when they announced this a while back that we're like, okay, that's the one you want to do. I guess it's an interesting thing that that Jason Sudeikis is going to continue to do, but
hey, post Ted Lasso, Jason Sudeikis.
I know, right? I guess I would like it more if they actually embraced more of the Marvel universe, right?
It had more than I thought it did, but to your point, yes, if they can lean more into the Marvelness of that show.
Like Hitmonkey was first introduced in a comic with Deadpool and was it Deadpool and Spider-Man, I think, or am I mistaken? He didn't just start with his own comic. He was introduced in something else, and then they gave him a miniseries, and the show was based off of the miniseries, which is funny, but yeah, I'll watch it because that's what we do on this show. We grin and bear it, and we watch the crap that nobody else wants to, and then we talk about it. But I'm not excited about it. Well, I'm more excited about it than I am, Agatha. That I'll say.
Really?
Dude.
I probably will sit and watch Agatha. I don't think it deserved another show. I think they're doing it because of the actress, because of the hype that she put behind it, like they do with a lot of the newer superhero stuff. I'm just gonna watch it with the hope that there's some sort of mention that can explore more of Wanda's lore and maybe Doctor Strange, not necessarily for Agatha, and maybe a mention of like Fantastic Four and their kid, since she was his nanny. So maybe we'll get something like that.
I'm gonna watch it again because I have
pause in there. That's
I know, and she'll probably be cool, but like I'm not excited for Agatha at all. I'll just keep saying that every week until we get there, man. Like that's just.
We're trying to get premiere tickets. And
can I bring tomatoes?
Oh my god. Well, you can bring this guy. Totally messed up the.
Yeah, you did. You messed up.
You can bring this guy, Death's Head, as part of the Comic-Con lead up. Marvel's announcing their exclusive Legends, and their treat this year is Death's Head. Who the hell is Death's Head?
Yeah, Hasbro released their little slate of Hasbro Toy Shop exclusives for Comic-Con this year, and this is going to be the first year in 5 years that Hasbro has actually brought toys to the show to sell. Ever since the pandemic, they have been doing like a weird thing where instead of bringing stuff, they bring a little piece of paper with a code on it. You go and put it in on your phone, and then you go and order the thing, and then you get your toy like in September, and that's not a very satisfying Comic-Con experience. I just want to say, but so this is cool that they're bringing it back, and they're doing the thing where they're making convention exclusives that are kind of weird toys that maybe are niche and not everybody's going to want. Death's Head is definitely one of those characters. He's a weird character, dude. He was first introduced in Marvel Comics Transformers as a bounty hunter that was hunting the Transformers, if I remember correctly. And because he was created by Marvel, but for Hasbro, because Hasbro was letting, Marvel do these comics to make Transformers popular and stuff. Once Hasbro parted ways with Marvel, it got weird, right? Because they're like, what do we do with Death's Head? Because this is the character we made, and he was existing in the Marvel universe and stuff. And so eventually they just made a second Death's Head that was their own character, separate from Transformers. And this guy kind of just never saw the light of day for a long time. So it's really cool. He's a very weird oddity that exists in two kind of universes at the same time, right? So if you're a Transformers fan or a Marvel fan or both,
how big is he? And like, if he's killing Transformers,
he's a person-sized character. Like, he's a human
compared to the Transformers.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know. I didn't read those comics back in the day, but I have always been aware of what a Death's Head is, and it's a weird character. So I am super excited to have it in my collection. But he's weird. He's super weird. Did you know about Death's Head?
Did he transform?
No, he's a different alien. He's a different race. He's like a cybernetic. He's a bionic thing, but he's not a transformer. He's a bounty hunter. Is a character that was created in the Transformers comics, but is not a transformer. It's that.
He's a child of divorce.
He's a what?
He's the child of divorce.
Yes,
that's the best way of putting that, man. Yeah, he really is. Yeah, originally published by Marvel UK. Yeah, he's a robotic bounty hunter. Yeah, he did have his own comics. In like after he appeared in the Transformers stuff for a little while, but yeah, it got weird, man.
Well, rounding out some of the toy news, another product of divorce. You get a sick ass Odin for Marvel's 85th anniversary line.
Pre-order today.
He comes with not one but two crows. They have names, right?
Ravens.
Mutant and Mutant.
He looks pretty cool though.
He has two different helmets too, and a cloth cape. They made a point of giving him a cloth cape so that if you want to sit him down in a throne that you custom build, they didn't want to inhibit that ability for the king to sit in a throne. So I think that's a cool choice they made. This just like there's a 3-pack with a new cloth cape Dr. Doom that they announced a couple weeks ago, and that's the reason they wanted to do that this time around. So I like that they're giving customizers, the chance to like put them where they belong. So this guy can actually sit down. If he had a big plastic cape, he never could.
The last toy on our list for this week is one we missed last week, but it kind of works out. Might get a kick of this guy. It's Warbird, right? Technically.
No, this is Phoenix.
Some people they go Raptor. I've heard Raptor before. The Phoenix Raptor.
No, the toy is not called Phoenix.
It's either called Jean Grey or Phoenix, but you're thinking of Captain Marvel, dude.
Oh, you're right.
This is not Warbird. That's Carol Danvers. This is Phoenix.
You got a Phoenix figure with a lovely sash. Looks like pinless articulation, and a nice little Phoenix stand behind.
I think she comes with two heads, so she doesn't have to look super crazy all the time, too.
Does she peg into the stand, or is she kind of just there?
It's actually like her feet go into there's like like spaces in the wrapping fire that allow her feet to go in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not a peg. Yeah, and you can actually remove the Phoenix from it too, so you can just have the flames. so you can just it's a there's
you can just have a little phoenix on your desk.
You can just have her on fire, standing on fire, or you can have her standing with the big bird behind it.
How big is she?
I mean, she's a 6-inch figure, but that bird is significantly bigger than her and sits behind her, so it's pretty cool.
One thing I noticed that they in her like facial features, like ever since X-Men 1 and Famke Janssen as Jean Grey, I've noticed that even in the comic books, X-Men Evolution, the series, they started kind of like drafting her face similar to Famke Janssen's like facial structure. So it's like looking more like her. Like I was reading the Dark Phoenix Endsong comic the other day, and there was a panel that looked just like the actress. So I'm not sure if like that was intended or that was on purpose.
It always is.
Yeah, they probably liked her look, and they kind of kept it going in some manner.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think that toy looked like Famke, but you care more about her than I do, so I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue. I love her and
Famke.
We'll transition from talking about one woman on fire into another woman on fire as we move into our spotlight with the Fantastic Four.
Wow.
Rise of the Silver Surfer.
That was special. Good job, Ricky. Abel's laughing at it too.
This movie came out 2007.
Yeah. Wait, 2007 or 2005? I think it came out the same year as Elektra, didn't it?
No, the first one was 2005. This is stuff we should have had ready.
Oh, yeah.
It's 2007,
right?
Right?
You're right. This was 2007. You're correct.
We like to date things here, Abel, with stuff pre and post Dark Knight. So this is one year
before Iron Man Dark Knight. Yeah.
1 year before everything changed.
Yeah,
so
well, 2008.
World, for you guys, the Dark Knight is like Jesus, and then anything after it is.
Well, no, he doesn't speak for me. What? So for me, 2008 is a milestone because it's the year that Iron Man and The Dark Knight came out. You know what I mean? Also, The Incredible Hulk came out in between those two, but whatever. Yeah. But I'm saying within 2 months, we got 2 comic book movies for the first time ever treated us like adults.
It was two excellent examples of
in very different ends of the spectrum, but both very well executed. You know what I mean? And so I think for us, that was the first time we felt treated good. You know what I mean? Anything before that is and also let's not forget, this is the beginning of the MCU is 2008. You know what I mean? And that train just kept going for a long time. So it's hard to look at movies pre 2008 and without making sure that people remember, okay, look, this is before both Jesuses showed up. You know what I mean? I'd like to see two Jesus. I definitely I don't like to put one above the other. I just think they. Can you agree that both of those movies gave us something we had never seen before?
Yeah, and I think you make a good point about that too, because they both come out the same year, and they kind of both set the tone for Marvel and DC. And it's very different, but they work for each individual universe, and they kind of set the standard moving forward. But their problem now is just that there hasn't been a change, and it's just the same formula, which is why people are kind of falling off.
Correct.
No, you're 100% there. It's, you can't keep playing the same song for going on 16 years.
But I think that's why the world is so excited for James Gunn to do Superman, right? Is because, hey, we have a chance for a tone shift, right? We can finally change the direction of this ship. Well, because the ship already sank, right? The ship sank, and we're building a new ship, but Marvel, whether or not you're a Marvel hater or you're a Marvel fan, to varying degrees, the ship is either sinking or it's on life support, or maybe it's just not as good as it was before, right?
It's not firing on all cylinders,
right? But whatever your opinion of it is, you have to look back at the movies that came out before 2008 with different lenses, right? Because they just didn't have that same foresight of we should make these all something bigger, right? Like they were just individual. You make a movie, if it does well in box office, you make a sequel. And then if that does well enough, you do it again. Unless Disney decides to buy your company, in which case, oops, I guess we're not making any more of these. Or you see what Iron Man and the Dark Knight do, and you're like, whoa, we need to totally do something different, right? Which is unfortunately the movie we'll be talking about next week, which is Fantastic. But for however you want to do it, this movie existed in 2007. It's the sequel to the original one with Joan Grufford as Mr. Fantastic, Michael Chiklis as the Thing, Chris Evans as Human Torch, and Jessica Alba as Invisible Woman. And I feel like this movie was a reaction to that movie, because it was almost like they focus tested the Fantastic Four with us with the first movie, which, as a reminder, that movie was already weird because it kind of was the victim of that weird twin film thing where The Incredibles came out right before it in theaters, and beat it to the theaters. And I was so angry at Incredibles because I was like, this is the Fantastic Four. There's no way the Fantastic Four can be as good as this movie. You know what I mean? And so Fox they went back and said, yo, we're giving you more money because you need to make these special effects hot because Incredibles was too good. And then they put that movie out, and I don't think those special effects, I don't think the money went there.
They're of its time.
When you say that, it breaks my heart because as a reminder, Jurassic Park came out in 1996.
Yes.
And so anytime people say it's of its time for a movie that came out in 2005 or whatever, no, it's not. It's budget of its time is what it is.
I'll counter with saying the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are creatures. Doing people's always going to be harder.
Whoa. No, I will counter that all the way. They are creatures that we had no idea what they actually look like and what they've actually ever moved like. People know what people look like. We know that.
Yeah, that's why it's harder to tell when it's not looking perfect.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, or they just actually gave a shit about the Jurassic Park movie.
Could be both. It could be both.
But I mean, to be fair, just on this weird tangent, I don't think any Jurassic Park movie has looked as good as the first Jurassic Park either. Which is really gross and weird. That all the sequels to Jurassic Park look worse than the original one. So, anyways, that's my weird 2 cents. I hate when we give this weird, caveat. Well, it's of its time. It's no, dude, you can do better than that. I'm just saying, Blade 2 has better special effects than Fantastic Four Rise.
Is this by far the worst movie in the the new age era of 2008? No. It's not. It's fine. This movie for me holds a very special place. This is one of the first movies I went to go see by myself. I had my allowance money I saved up. I was able to walk to a movie theater from where I lived. And one summer day when it came out, I think July, I walked to the movie theater, bought a ticket, saw it on opening day, came out of it, and that was a cool movie. Granted, I was 12 or 13 probably at that time. My perception of good is not ideal, but I had fun. And for me, that's what this movie always will be for me. Rewatching it for this show, is it a flawed movie? 100%. But I appreciate the attempt.
All right, so everyone, that's the show.
That's the show.
I want Abel to talk about this movie before I just totally rag on it. But I want to first just say I'm looking at the IMDb page for this, and it's so funny to me because it's labeled in the categories as action, adventure, and fantasy. this movie can't even like justify the stupid science that it is in it enough to call it a sci-fi. And the idea that a Fantastic Four story could ever not be labeled as sci-fi is bonkers to me. But I'm like, yeah, that tracks. The science of this movie is really bad, like really bad. Like it doesn't hold anything. But anyways, Abel, tell us what how you felt going to see this movie.
So I did also recently rewatch it, and I would agree that the effects do not hold up. They could have done so much better. I was rewatching specifically the fight with at the end with the Human Torch when he gets all the powers and he fights Doctor Doom. That looked pretty bad.
That look at ass.
But I think the only thing that this movie has going for it, and it's kind of a popular opinion, is like the Silver Surfer himself. I think like Doug Peters, the American actor, the contortionist,
Doug Jones,
and he just did
Lawrence
great.
Fishburne. Yeah.
And what I love about like his design, because I was like re-looking at his face, I was like, they really like made his brow ridge and the face just like the comic books with like the pointed features. I was like, that was a good touch and a good way to go about it. Instead of just spray painting him with the silver paint, they kept that, and that was good. His powers were great. The way he spoke, the way he carried himself, loved it. But then it just shows that like you can kind of see where the attention was versus everyone else. Invisible Woman, like, oh god, they botched her. Mr. Fantastic, I love that actor, and I love the character. I really wanted more from him, but he was like I feel like in the beginning, in the first one, they tried to make him out come out as like one of the greatest minds of the 21st century. But in the second one, they just made him a goofball, and it wasn't
dumb.
He's pretty dumb. He's pretty dumb in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what I do like also is like the fact that for the Thing that they kept it with the practical effects versus like CGI. Like even though there are times you can tell it's a cushion, it still I think works better than trying to CGI a Rockman, you know.
Well, I mean, you haven't seen Fan Four Stick, but you're probably right.
The Silver Surfer works.
Yeah.
He when he's on the board, like specifically the wedding scene when Johnny's chasing him, and he's hitting the poses. That feels real good. Like watching that again, like you're like, yeah, like that perfection right there. I think that's why they're going. What's his wife's name?
Whose wife?
Silver Surfer.
Oh, you mean Shalabal?
Yes. Yeah.
That's. They're going with his wife for the new Fantastic Four.
The girl from Ozark is playing the new Silver Surfer in theory in the new movie, but
presumably it would be his wife.
It's also a multiverse story too, right? But I'm not trying to like make excuses or anything like that. But what I am trying to say is like I will agree with you guys entirely. When I watched this movie, when I watched it again yesterday, I realized I was like, you know what? I'm really not angry if they want to cast a female Silver Surfer in the new movie because there's really no topping this one. Like he is quite perfection. He is probably the most accurate recreation of a comic book character that I've ever seen put to film. He is 100% perfect. I know what Doug Jones looks like. They didn't use his face. They put an entire prosthetic over this man's body. Because he's super thin. You know, he's the guy who played Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies. He's also played the fish in The Shape of Water, the Fish Man. And he also plays a really important character in Star Trek Discovery. He's escaping my name. But he's he's a great motion, like, you know, crazy creature actor. And
he's a costume guy. You need a guy in a costume. You put him in there.
He's kind of like Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO, right? He's so thin that you could put him in a thin fitting suit and it looks believable. It looks real, right? Like to know that entire Silver Surfer costume is a full-on prosthetic, and you know, it's a really, really good prosthetic, man. It looks 100% accurate. And then you throw in Lawrence Fishburne's voice with it, and like they just knock it so out of the park that I remember when I saw this movie back in 2007, I said, just give me a supercut of just his scenes. just his scenes, this movie's perfect. Like,
Mhm.
maybe not perfect because he's shared scenes with some really crappy people. But I was like, like you guys were saying, I think we're all in agreement. I had nothing but joy every time I watched him on screen. And then it was like I might as well have been hearing fart jokes every other moment of the movie. You know what I mean? It's just so bad. Like I can't even process the lack of science that goes into the weird power switching thing that's happening with Johnny.
Oh, they kind of gloss over it, and
like it makes no freaking sense. But at least it has a consistency through the first part of the film where Johnny interacts with the Silver Surfer and it causes his powers to behave erratically, so that whenever he touches another Fantastic Four member, they instantly swap powers, and it's a really hilarious thing. It's basically all just to serve a gag so they can make Jessica Alba be naked again one more time.
Mhm.
Poor woman. Poor woman. And then like at the end of the movie, he decides, wait, I can beat Dr. Doom, who's now gained the Surfer's power. And they just all are, all right, let's do it. And he touches all three of them, and for some reason he gets all of their powers. That math don't add up, man. That math, that there's no, it doesn't make any sense at all to the movie, and it's just so hard to process. But I know it was because people loved him in the first movie. He was the best part of the first movie, and so Fox just like leaned into it. They're like, let's just give him more Chris Evans. And I'm like, I don't go to watch a Fantastic Four movie to watch the Human Torch do everything by himself. That's just dumb. You know what I mean? Like, and I think the other thing that really just kills me about this movie is Invisible Woman is the most powerful character in this team. And her story arc in this movie is, I'm a bridezilla. Wait, okay, I guess we can put this on hold to save the world. And then once it's done, can we go back to my wedding? Like, that's her story arc in this movie. Oh wait,
questionable cultural appropriation.
And oh, dude, that is beyond questionable. I forgot about that entirely until I watched it, and I was like, "Why are they in Japan? Why are they wearing kimonos? Why is her hair like that? This is gross. This is super gross. I can't believe I didn't remember this." But yeah, and then there's like a weird moment in the movie where she meets the Silver Surfer, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you remind me of my girlfriend," and I'm like, all right. I mean, you could have written that better, but like, I guess it's
and it all has to do with like the writing. Because what I will say about Jessica Alba, because I did read this article about her, that she in this movie was trying to give like a performance. She was trying to act her heart out, but they kept telling her, "Cut, stop that. You look too ugly. That doesn't look pretty. Redo that. Change your face." Like the whole scene where at the end where she dies, I guess like the reason she quit, big reason she quit acting was because of this movie. She had said that she did the scene where she gets stabbed by Dr. Doom, and she, reacts like someone who got freaking stabbed and sobbed and was in pain. And the director was like, "Can you not move your face too much when you cry, and just do a single tear?" And that's when she was in her head like, "All right, I guess I'm fucking done with this. Like, they don't want me to act; they want me to be a piece of meat out here on camera." So I would give her the due diligence on that.
Yeah, they told her we can CGI your tears in later. They asked her to cry pretty. Yeah. No, I know. It's super gross. It's super gross. And then they also make Dr. Doom not wear his mask for most of the movie, which is like,
I forgot his powers are cosmic based in this universe, but man, I hope for the new Fantastic Four they let him do magic. Let him be a magic guy.
Let him just be not his origin doesn't have to have anything to do with the Fantastic Four's crazy accident. It doesn't. It doesn't have to. It's
he can just hate Reed. He like that's when they're at their best, when they're at this like who's smarter than who game.
Yeah,
but not like
I will say that his design is a lot better than the new one that came out. Like at least with the mask and the cloak and everything.
Oh yeah, the mask looks legit. It's just there's very little green in the movie that when you watch it, like, and it's like he should be really really green. So
I will say I do appreciate though how he is just like an evil dude.
Yeah. He's an evil dude who wants to. He sees a very powerful creature show up on the planet. He's not really so concerned about the fact that everybody's saying, "Oh, this creature's here to destroy the planet." He's more like, "How do I get those powers?" And I love that because that's actually right on par with Doctor Doom. That's straight out of the comics.
When your last name's Von Doom, you can only do so much in this world.
So yeah, he's the full mustache twirler. I really do love Julian McMahon. I won't hate on him so much as Doctor Doom. I was just kind of bummed that they found like some magical cure for his face so that he could look good again. And I was like, that's kind of dumb. Like it felt like this is from a time where the actors had too much say in like I'd rather look pretty and I'd rather not wear this mask all the time. And I'm like, bro, if you only watched 3 seasons of Daredevil, man, that guy never complains. Like he just wears it when he's supposed to wear it. You know what I mean? Like it's So exactly that's the problem I have with those. But then let's not let this show end without getting to the final really big insult of this movie. What the hell was that Galactus? That is the dumbest thing ever. It's a big giant cloud. It might as well be the bad guy from the Green Lantern movie, the flying poop. It's so bad. It's just like it doesn't.
I didn't hate it this time around because looking at it, okay, it kind of looks like it's his hand. His little fingers are going in the holes he's making. That's how I took it. I forgot about the helmet shape and the clouds.
But just to be clear, he's not actually that big. He's not that big. He's not so big that he palms a planet and puts it in his mouth. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like he has a machine to help him consume the planets.
Like, you guys have seen Eternals, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Celestials there, like that'd be a good size from in the movies, like just as big as like the Judge, like that kind of size. He doesn't have, like you said, he doesn't have to bite down on the freaking planet. He just has to be big.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone had an idea what like you're tasked with putting Galactus in a movie. You're like, what the fuck am I going to do? That's an impossible task pre 2008. I will give it that point.
Well, I read that Lawrence Fishburne was originally excited to play the voice for Galactus, but then he happily switched to the Silver Surfer when they decided to just not make Galactus speak at all. And I'm just like, well, who made that decision? Like don't get me wrong, I'm very happy we got Lawrence Fishburne as Silver Surfer, but like, why did we decide to not make Galactus speak? Like he should be important to this story and not be just a plot device. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like, I think that was the thing that I kind of was annoyed about, on top of just the fact that like I don't understand how the Silver Surfer beats Galactus when Silver Surfer with his power. Silver Surfer's power is a fraction of Galactus's power, so you can't use 1/10 of something to defeat the other 100%. It doesn't make sense. Like so. I would have appreciated Reed getting a chance to outsmart Galactus and convince him to go leave this planet for like he always does, So that's I don't like this movie.
Like build something out that that would poison him or something.
Yeah, or build the ultimate nullifier, which is like a deterrent for everybody. You know what I mean? Hey, I use this, you die, I die, we all die. It's
He's meant to be like in the comics. We know him to be on par with with Rocket and with Tony Stark as far as intelligence, if not more.
Yeah.
But again, we didn't really get to see that. He built a nice, cool little flying thing for the 4 of them, which great. But like
it's a Hemi
with the Dodge logo on it.
God.
Yeah. He's definitely pretty dumb in this movie. But I guess I had fun. So thanks. Yeah,
I had fun. I won't hate this movie, but it is definitely a sign of the times.
Yeah.
Another thing I did not like, and this is kind of like nitpicking it, just because I know why they did it. Rewatching it, I'm watching this stupid little dancing with Mr. Fantastic, and he's stretching.
Bad.
His clothes are stretching. I was like, what?
Of course. Yeah.
I think we got to end on that, Ricky. You got to wrap it.
His clothes stretch. My clothes don't. Thank you, Abel.
Hit the button.
It's always fantastic. We got to wrap this up. True believers, enough said.